All right, I think we're live. Hi, everybody. My name is Simiya, and I'm here to lead about a 30-minute gentle yoga practice. And I'll just tell you a little bit more about myself before we start. I am a Yoga Buzz yoga teacher training graduate. I think I graduated in 2017. Time has gone by, so I'm getting a little rusty. But yeah, I'm trained by Yoga Buzz. I'm a yoga teacher and meditation teacher here at St. Louis. So before we get started, if you have blocks at home, you can find your blocks. I'm going to use mine. If you don't have blocks, you could use a couple of books if you have some big books. I have my mat on the ground. If you have a blanket or something to protect your knees, you could use that as well. So whenever you're ready to get started, we're going to start by laying down on the mat. So we'll just take a couple of moments to get settled in. And you can make your way onto your back. So whenever you're ready, you can lay down on the mat. And you can start with your hands at your sides. And the palms can face up. Or if you feel like you need a little bit more grounding, a little bit more contact with your body, you could take one hand to your low belly and one hand to the center of your heart space. And just take a couple of moments to get settled into this space. Notice the contact between your body and the ground below you. Just notice what it feels like to lay here. And notice if you could be maybe 5 or 10% more comfortable. So offer some more space between your feet and your legs. You can offer some space between the hands and the sides of the body. Making sure your shoulders are fully relaxed away from the ears. And as you begin to notice your physical body, begin to notice your breath. Just take these next couple of moments to watch your body move as you inhale and exhale. Notice the spaces in your body that are easy to rise and fall on the inhale and exhale. And notice the spaces that need a little bit more encouragement as you breathe. Also enjoy listening to the sounds of my dog drinking water. So we're going to take a few more breaths here. One more big breath in and a big breath out. Now as you're ready, take your arms all the way up and overhead. You can reach through the tips of your fingers and point out through the tips of your toes. And as you press out through the tips of your fingers, you can switch the stretch by pressing out through your heels. Just taking a couple more moments here in this full body stretch. Find an inhale. And then as you exhale, start to draw your knees in towards your heart space. Wrap your hands around your shins or the backs of your thighs and give yourself a squeeze here. So as you squeeze in, if you'd like to rock from side to side, you can circle the knees or just rock the body from side to side here. And take 2 more breaths like this. And whenever you're ready, pause. So if you're moving, come back through center. Draw your left knee in towards your heart space and extend your right leg long on the mat. From here, start to draw your left knee in towards your left armpit and press your right thigh and your right heel down. Relax your shoulders as much as possible, flex your toes. Take 3 full breaths here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, send your left arm out wide to the left side. Your right hand comes to your left thigh. And start to bring your left knee over to the right for a twist. So if you need more support for your left knee, which I do, grab a block or grab some books and rest your knee on something supportive. So the hands can be out wide at the sides. You could look up at the ceiling or gaze over your left shoulder. And find 3 full breaths here. Take an inhale to release, come back onto your back. And then an exhale, draw your knees in towards your heart space once again. You can wrap your hands around your shins or the backs of your thighs. Take a couple of breaths here. And if you're rocking from side to side, come back through center and we'll switch sides. So from knees hugging in, start to draw your right knee in. Extend your left leg long on your mat. So start to press your left thigh down, your left heel down, and flex both sets of toes. You can start to draw your right knee towards your right armpit. Relax your shoulders and breathe here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, right arm can come out wide to the side, left hand can come over to your right thigh, and guide your right thigh over to the left for a twist. So once again, if your right knee is needing some support, you could use your block or use some books. Arms can be out wide to a T, you can look up or gaze over your right shoulder. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. As you exhale, you can start to unwind, draw the knees back in towards the heart space. Give yourself a hug here, rock from side to side. Just find what you need for 2 more breaths. And as you're ready, take a moment to plant the soles of your feet and keep your knees bent. We're going to come into a reclined bound angle pose. So I'm going to grab my blocks for a little bit more support here. So I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together, my knees out wide. And as I bring my knees out wide, to add a little bit more support, I'm going to take either those blocks or some books to the outsides of my knees. And that can go on any height. So this is a good height for me. And as you're ready, take an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up and overhead. So as you sweep your arms up and overhead, begin to pull your belly in towards your spine and give your belly button a little lift up. Take a full breath in and out here. Find your next inhale. And as you exhale, shift your arms forward, draw your chin in towards your chest, pull your belly in towards your spine. Inhale, lengthen, relax your head, sweep your arms up. And exhale as you come forward. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, come forward. So just keep going at your pace. And inhale, releases the arms. Exhale, brings you forward. And keep allowing the knees to press open and press towards the ground. Thank you, Rosie. And let's take 3 more. Two more. Last one. And hold on the last one. So keep drawing your belly in, stretch forward through your fingertips, chin towards chest. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale, you can come all the way onto your back and take your arms out into a goal post position. So I'm bending my elbows at the tops of my hands on the ground, and take a few breaths here. Notice how you feel. Find one more breath here. And as you're ready, you can take your hands to the outsides of your knees and then draw your knees together like you're closing a book. You can move your blocks off to the side and make your way onto hands and knees. So I'm going to roll over onto my side and then press myself up into this tabletop pose. So as I come into tabletop pose, my wrists are underneath my shoulders, my knees are underneath my hip points, and you could have your toes tucked under or the tops of the feet could be on the mat. As you're ready, firmly pressing the mat away from you, draw your belly in towards your spine and relax your shoulder blades down your back. Take an inhale and an exhale here in tabletop pose. And as you feel ready, we're going to move through a few rounds of cat-cow. So on your inhale, lift your heart, your hips, and your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, look towards your belly button. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round your spine, and just keep moving like this with your breath. If there's any other movements that you'd like to add, like some hip circles, you could add those. Or if you'd like, you could look back towards one hip and then towards the other hip. And just keep moving with your breath. Let's take 3 more rounds. Last one. Take an inhale, come all the way back through center. As you exhale, bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees out wide. Press your hips back towards your heels. Send your arms forward. Come into a wide leg child's pose. So here you could rest your forehead down on the mat, or you could take your forehead to a block or a blanket or some books. And we'll spend 3 more breaths here. So keep lengthening forward through the tips of your fingers. Pull your belly in. Press your hips back towards your heels. Take another deep breath here. And as you inhale, come back onto the tips of your fingers. On your exhale, walk your hands over to the right for a side stretch. So you can relax your forehead down towards the ground once again. And send your breath into the entire left side of your body. Take 2 more breaths here. And take your inhale, come back onto the tips of your fingers. Exhale, walk your hands all the way over to the left. Breathe here into the right side of body. Take 3 more breaths on this side. As you inhale, come back onto the tips of your fingers. Exhale, come all the way back through center and find your way into tabletop pose once again. On your inhale, find cow pose. Lift your hips, your heart, your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, look towards your belly button, and keep going through these rounds of cat-cow at your pace. Take 2 more. One more. Take an inhale, come back to your tabletop pose, and take a full exhale here. On your next inhale, sweep your right arm out to the side and up. As you exhale, we'll thread the needle so you can come down onto your right shoulder, your right cheek. And from here, you're welcome to stay here and keep your left hand underneath your left shoulder, or you can extend your left arm out in front of you. You're also welcome to wrap your left hand behind your back, maybe reach for your right thigh. Breathe here. Two more breaths. Take an inhale. As you exhale, you can begin to unwind. Plant your left hand underneath your left shoulder, and then sweep your right arm out to the side and up. Exhale, come back to your tabletop pose, and we'll switch sides. Take an inhale, sweep your left arm out to the side and up. Exhale, thread the needle. So come down onto your left shoulder, onto your left cheek. And same thing here. You can keep your right hand underneath your right shoulder. You can extend your right arm out long or wrap the right hand behind the back. So I'm reaching for my left thigh. Breathe here. Take 2 more breaths. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, you can begin to unwind. Plant your right hand underneath your right shoulder, and then sweep your left arm out to the side and up. Exhale, come back to tabletop pose. From tabletop pose, use your inhale, find cow. Exhale, round your spine, find cat pose. And let's take 3 more rounds like that. 2 more. Last one. Take an inhale, come all the way back through center. Keep your toes tucked under, keep your hips lifted, and as you exhale, start to melt your heart down, your arms forward. We come into puppy pose. So here, you can rest your forehead on a block. Let me grab a little block here. So you can take your forehead to the block, or you can take your forehead to the floor. Also, if you're in puppy pose and you want a little bit more, you can rest on your chin and look forward. So choose a variation that works best for you. Keep the hips lifted, belly pulling in and up. We'll take a few more breaths here. Two more breaths in puppy pose. Inhale and a big exhale. On your next inhale, find your way back into tabletop pose. From tabletop pose, find cow pose, lift your heart, your hips, your gaze. Exhale, this time round your spine, press your hips back towards your heels, find child's pose as you extend your arms out long. On your next inhale, come back into tabletop. On your exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog. So here in this first downward facing dog, you're welcome to pedal out your feet. So I'm bending and straightening one leg at a time. You can shake your head yes and no. Just continue to press the mat away from you. Press your heart back towards your thighs. And we'll take 3 more breaths here. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, lower your knees down, come into tabletop pose. Inhale, find cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, press your hips back towards your heels, come into child's pose. Take 2 full breaths here. As you inhale, come back into tabletop pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. So if there's more movements that you'd like, you can continue to pedal at your feet. Maybe you wag your tail. You could circle the hips a little bit here. Just find what feels good. 2 more breaths. Take 1 more breath here. Inhale, come all the way back through center. Exhale, lower your knees down towards the mat, tabletop pose. Take an inhale, find cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, press your hips back towards your heels, come back to child's pose. Pause here. One more breath in child's pose. As you inhale, rise into tabletop pose. And then as you exhale, let's step the right foot up. So we're going to come into a lunge. So you're welcome to keep your hands pretty low. Maybe you want to keep your hands on the ground or keep your hands on your blocks. You could take your hands together at the center of your heart, or you could reach your arms all the way up and overhead. So in any variation that you're in, keep squeezing the thighs in towards each other and breathe here. Let's take 3 more breaths in this lunge. Find an inhale here. As you exhale, if your arms are up and overhead, take your hands back down to the ground or take your hands to the blocks and straighten your right leg. So we're going to come into a half split. So you can come onto your right heel, flex your right toes towards you, and here the blocks or your books or any other sort of support can help decrease or increase the stretch. So you could come upright like this, or you can use your blocks and fold a little deeper over your right leg. So find the variation of stretch that feels best for you. Keep flexing your toes towards you and breathe here. So this is where I'm feeling pretty good today. Take 3 more breaths. One more breath here. As you're ready, on an inhale, come back into your low lunge. And then as you exhale, make your way back to tabletop pose. From tabletop pose, let's find cow pose. Lift your heart, your hips, your gaze. Exhale, round your spine, find cat pose. Inhale, come through table. And as you exhale, step your left foot up towards the top of the mat this time. So we're going to come into a lunge. So as you come into this lunge, once again, choose where you'd like to place your hands. You can choose to keep your hands low, bring the hands to the thighs, hands at heart center, or arms can sweep all the way up and overhead. Breathe here, keep pressing the thighs in towards each other. Maybe you sink a little bit deeper into the hips here. Take 3 more breaths. Inhale. As you exhale, if your arms are up and overhead, release your hands and come into your half split on this side. So you can start to lengthen your left leg, come onto your left heel, and choose the best placement for your hands. So hands could come here, or you can fold forward over your left leg. Stay connected to your breath. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. As you exhale, come back to that brief lunge. And from your lunge, we'll head back into tabletop pose. From tabletop pose, find your cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, find cat pose. Inhale, come back to table. Exhale, find your version of child's pose. So your knees can be close together if you'd like, or you can come into wide leg child's pose, big toes touch, knees out wide, mouth the heart and the arms forward. Take 5 deep breaths here. Inhale, rise back up to tabletop pose. And then as you exhale, we're going to come onto the belly for Sphinx Pose. So make your way onto your belly and come onto your forearms. So as you come up, I'm going to scoot down so you guys can see me. So as you come onto your forearms, your elbow points can be directly under your shoulders or slightly forward of your shoulders. I'm pressing my forearms into the mat. My palms are pressing into the mat, and I'm energetically pulling my palms towards the wall behind me. So here I feel a lift in my heart space. As I lift my heart, I'm gliding my shoulder blades down my back and lifting the crown of my head up. So from the front, this is how it looks. So come into your Sphinx Pose, hold here for 5 more breaths. Find an inhale here. As you exhale, you can release, so you can come onto your palms. My elbows are out wide, I'm resting on my forehead. So I'm going to head back to the front of my mat. From here, you can offer some relief to the low back, so you can lift your feet up off the ground, and then just start to windshield wiper your knees from side to side. Go from side to side one more time. Now after you even things out, come all the way back through center, release your feet, and take your time to roll over onto your back. So as you roll over onto your back, your legs can be out long, arms can stretch all the way up and overhead, finding another full body stretch. And then as you exhale, you're welcome to bring your knees back in towards your heart space, wrap your hands around your shins or the backs of your thighs, and give yourself a squeeze as you rock from side to side. As you're ready, come back through center, release your feet, keep your knees bent, and take your arms out wide to the side. So the arms can come out wide to a T, or you could goal post your arms. Take an inhale here. And as you're ready on an exhale, lower your knees over to the right for a twist. So here you can stagger your knees a little bit. You're also welcome to take your right ankle on top of your left thigh to increase the sensation. You're welcome to look up or gaze over your left shoulder. Find 2 more breaths here. Take an inhale, come all the way back through center. Exhale, twist to the other side, so lower your knees over towards the left. Gaze over your right shoulder. You can choose to stay here, stagger the knees, or place your left ankle on top of your right thigh this time. You can gaze over your right shoulder. Two more breaths. spine, come all the way back through center. And exhale, bring your knees in for one more big hug for yourself. You can squeeze in here. This time, maybe you bring your knees in towards your nose. Rock from side to side here. And then as you're ready, you can release. Come into your corpse pose. So feet and hands are out wide. Palms are facing up. You can close your eyes or let your eyelids come to a soft gaze. And just take these next couple of moments to notice how you feel. Take 5 more breaths here. As you're ready, start to bring some movement back into your physical body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. You can circle your ankles and your wrists. You can reach your arms up and overhead, find a full body stretch. And then as you exhale, you can hug your knees back in towards your heart space. While you keep your eyes closed or at a soft gaze, roll over onto your side. And then slowly and gently start to press yourself up into a seat on your mat. And as you find yourself in a comfortable seat, your legs could be crossed, or you could kneel or find any other comfortable seated position. And as we come into this comfortable seat, you're welcome to bring your hands together at the center of your heart, or you could choose another form of gratitude as you bow your head down towards your hands. So just take these next couple of moments to check in with how you feel. And notice what's changed for you. And take a moment to give gratitude for these changes, no matter how big or how small they are. And let's take this time to close our practice with gratitude, extending that gratitude first towards ourselves, giving thanks for all aspects of our physical body, our mind, our breath. We take this time to thank each other for practicing together. We give our thanks for this practice and for each day that we're here on earth. And I thank you all for joining me this morning. I thank you all for trusting me and allowing me to guide you through your practice. And if you enjoyed this live Facebook video, please leave a comment. Also, please, if you're able, give a donation to Yoga Buzz. Yoga Buzz is a great organization offering in public yoga classes and events all over the St. Louis area. And right now, if you have the capacity to give a donation, it is greatly appreciated. So I thank you all so much for joining me from my living/dining room archway space. And I hope to see you all again soon. Thank you so much.